Okay, it's 7 o'clock. I'd like to call the meeting to order. Please rise for the pledge.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, no need for roll call. Everybody's present. Old business approval of minutes. The regular meeting minutes of November 20th, 2025 were provided for review. So I need a motion to approve the regular meeting minutes of November 20th, 2025 as presented.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion, a second. Call the roll.
Mr. Robinson.
Yes.
Mr. Clemens.
Yes.
Mr. Brungard.
Yes.
Mr. Stednicka.
Abstain.
Mr. Gardner.
Yes.
Mr. Kirby.
Yes.
Mr. Kowalski.
Yes.
Mr. Garvey.
Yes.
Motion passed. Audience participation. Is there anyone in the audience that would like to address the council on an item that is not on the agenda tonight? No takers? Item number 2 is update on Kansas Highway 5. Jeff McCarroll and Kimley Horn are here to update the City Council on potential improvements to K5. The project is currently in KDOT's development pipeline with a potential timeline of 2031 to 2032. According to discussion at KDOT local consult meeting earlier this fall, KDOT has allotted $35 million for this project. So, Jeff, there you are.
Yeah, before Jeff jumps in,
Okay.
my name is Jacob Dieter. I'm with the IKE PMC, the program management consultant on behalf of KDOT, so serving as an extension of their internal staff to manage the project. We do have a couple of KDOT reps here with us tonight as well. Stephen Cross is the overall project manager, and Michael Reinhardt is the district engineer as well. So I'll kick things off and then let Jeff get into the details on the project. But yeah, I just want to give some information tonight on the existing conditions. As I think you're familiar, this project came out of local consult a couple of years ago. Actually, I know it was still shown in the information here just a few months ago, but it was moved into what KDOT calls the development pipeline, meaning there's been funding identified for just the preliminary engineering work to be done in the study phase portion. After that's finished, KDOT will evaluate the options and decide whether or not to move the project forward into preliminary design or not at that point. And so I think you're all familiar with the location, you know, K5 from 435 up to K7 in Leavenworth, but here to get your feedback on what priorities are for you all tonight. So with that, I'll turn it over to Jeff.
Okay, thank you.
Again, Jeff McCarroll with Kimley Horn. Pleasure to be back in front of you this evening. I was here a few years ago, and Councilmember Clemens, we saw each other here about a couple weeks ago, 2-3 weeks ago as well. I'm too far away up here. Next slide. We'll try this. Go ahead and try clicking again. There we go. This evening we're going to talk a little bit about the traffic, how it's operating today, as well as how would it operate 25 years from now in year 2050 if nothing else were to change. Kind of set a benchmark, if you will, for what we're seeing on that corridor. We'll also talk about some of the existing conditions, the physical conditions of that roadway. Some of you are familiar with it, and kind of the states that it in. How does that compare to current design practices that we might look at? We'll talk about the draft purpose and need, and this is an area we would certainly welcome your conversation, your influence on, as we start to evaluate different options. This is some of those guiding principles of what do people find important? What is the needs we really want to be addressing here? And it can range from areas of safety to economic development, to speed to get to 435, if you will. So we'd love to hear your input on that. And then we'll talk about a few of the next steps, because this won't be the only time that we'll be here in front of you. And we'll have opportunities for the public also to weigh in moving forward. So with that, we'll talk a bit about traffic operations. And one of the things we do is we evaluate highways, and some of you have probably heard this before from traffic engineers based on their level of service. Level of service is a grading from A to F, A being good, F being bad, just like in school. A being very minimal congestion, if you will. You can generally choose your own travel speeds along the route, safely, we hope. Level service F is congestion, so you're often delayed. A great example for that is at like traffic signal intersections where you have to wait through more than one cycle of the traffic signal, that'd be a level service F. Most of this corridor actually operates fairly well today at level service A or B through that corridor. It's not a lot of heavy traffic on the route. So when we see and we talk about congestion levels, it's not something that would rise and say that's a congested highway to travel. In the morning, it's relatively good. In the evening as well, as we look forward, basically level service A and B. And when we look into the future, the projections that we're seeing, that if nothing else were to happen, we're projecting traffic to increase by about 15% on this route over the next 25 years. Part of that constraint is just the nature of the road, and it's not an attractive road for a lot of people to drive today as far as getting from point A to point B in an efficient time frame. So with that, looking in the future, if nothing were to happen today, our intersections would continue to operate relatively well, and the main line. Moving forward in the morning, we've got a little bit that's gone from level service A to level service B, but still operating fairly well through that corridor in the PM as well. The issues, and maybe the topic of conversation, is really the physical nature of K5 as we look at that. What are some of those constraints that we have along this corridor? What are some of the right-of-way limitations that we have? And that's important as we kind of weigh that, because this isn't a easy project necessarily to just make a lot of improvements on. Today we've got right-of-way that gets fairly narrow in places, only about 40 feet compared to more typically 100 or more feet of right-of-way to build improvements. We've got federal and state property between prisons and cemeteries that we have to watch our improvements around, and how are we going to navigate through those. We've got a railroad that runs along parallel to the route, and we're adjacent to the floodplains through there. So there's some just natural constraints and some political man-made constraints along this route as we look at it. This is also a road that I think kind of evolved over time. It was never really designed. It has just progressed through the years into what it is today. We look at a couple things through that. One is what we call super elevation, and that is the banking of the road, if you will. And when we look at this roadway, we've got some pretty good crowns, but we've also got some banking in some locations that's actually pushing you off the road. Instead of holding you on K5, it's got a reverse crown and it's pushing you away from the direction you want to go. And we've got some tight curves and radiuses, both vertically and horizontally. There's some locations in which the safe travel speed is 15 or 20 or 25 miles an hour, even though the speed limit is probably 45 or 50 miles an hour on this route. So we've got constraints just from the physical nature of that road. And that really leads to what we have today with some crash histories along this corridor. We've got a roadway, not only do we have tight curves, but we've got almost no shoulders in many locations. We've got ditches right up against the edge of the road in places, so that if a tire pulls off the road, you've got no ability to really recover in locations as well. What we're seeing through that corridor and where we have, you'll see where we have some of these red dots up here where the speeds are low, the curves, the banking is high. That corresponds to where we also see trends for higher locations of crashes throughout the corridor. A lot of these crashes are actually single occupants or single vehicle crashes. They're people running off the road, hitting different things. K5 is also unique that it's got a lot of motorcycle crashes that occur. This is a popular route for a lot of weekend motorcycle riders, and they don't necessarily hold to the road sometimes. We see an abnormal percentage of motorcycle riders that have actually are involved in serious and fatal accidents through this corridor. When we compare this route to other routes throughout the state of Kansas, what we're seeing are crash rates that are anywhere from really about 3 to almost 10 times higher what we would expect of other routes in this area. So the low speeds, the curves, and really when we see those curves that are 35 miles an hour or less, that's where we're seeing our highest crash problems out there. That kind of leads to the draft purpose and needs statement, for which would certainly be open for some conversation with you. But the proposed statements, really, when we talk about what are we trying to address, one is safety. We want to enhance roadway safety that reduces the number of severe crashes, particularly at those substandard curves and intersections. Connectivity. We want to improve connectivity to key regional destinations for all the communities along the corridor. This is a path today that if you're at the interchange of 435 and I-70 and we're going to Leavenworth, it's actually about the same amount of travel time to come up K5 as it is to travel on K7. It's within a couple minutes of each other. But the nature of the road really doesn't entice people to do that. And if you can make other connections and make it a little higher speed or more direct connections, is that something that we want to evaluate and look at? And then modernizing that roadway to support future growth of the region and bring it to current standards. Pause there. We're not necessarily looking for any formal actions, but we'd love to hear your thoughts on kind of what you've heard and what you think of these purpose and need statements and what your priorities for this corridor might be. I know we received a letter from the city manager really focusing in on safety as being an issue there, but we really kind of wanted to open up and see if there's any discussion from the council, any guidance you all could provide to us as we begin to take our next steps.
So where's this going to start and end? It's not going to do the whole highway.
So the study we're looking at really goes from 435 all the way up to K7. And how much or all or portions of that is part of what we're going to be looking at. So there's that option to look at the entire corridor and talk about doing that. There's options to look at what if we focus on 435 to McIntyre, as an example. I think all of those are still up in the air, and what we want to have a conversation about.
Why would you not want to finish it? Just
I think I'm not saying we don't, but I think we need to keep all options open. And when we talk about the constraints that we have here, a lot of those tough constraints are really on the north section. And if we focus in from McIntyre on, maybe that's providing some good access as well. So we're not ruling anything out at this time, but we're trying to keep options and talk about different ways that this problem could be addressed. It's also a project, it's a long corridor that we're looking at. A lot of times projects like this don't get built all at once, and they might be phased, and it might be we're looking at one portion of the project before another portion. So, does that make sense?
it does.
Wait, when you say McIntyre, you're talking about the McIntyre K7 intersection as well?
Yeah, that could be an option, yes.
I mean, that's a priority for me.
Okay.
It would be for me also.
It's a priority for the city because we have economic development going on both sides of McIntyre on that intersection, and it's not a good intersection currently.
And we've already invested over $5 million to make future growth in that area a possibility by putting in wastewater.
Thank you.
Earlier, you spoke about congestion on the road. I travel that road every day. I work in Kansas City, Kansas, so I drive that road every day.
Yeah.
And I can tell you the biggest time you have congestion is when a tractor trailer ends up on that road, because you've driven it, right?
Yes.
You
Anytime.
cannot drive very fast in a tractor trailer on that road. I drive one for a living, so I wouldn't even want to drive on that road. But anyway, next thing you know, he ends up with 20, 30 cars behind him trying to get to their destination. So I guess my number one concern is once the improvements are done, you're going to end up with more truck traffic on that road, which creates more congestion.
And I think part of that congestion you're seeing from those trucks is also because of the curves and the speed that they can maneuver them.
Right.
And the speed they can accelerate, as you know, accelerate and decelerate as well. If you make improvements and start to raise some of those design speeds, that'll help to a degree. This project is looking at modernization. It's not really a project focused today at major expansion. So we're still talking about this as a two-lane facility, but the vision of perhaps a better two-lane facility. So.
Yeah.
And it still includes some type of interchange control at McIntyre and 7.
Those are some, and whether that's an interchange or that's today just looking at enhancing and upgrading those things, I think all of that is on the table.
Well, traffic management, I should say.
Well, if you make Bio Highway safer and easier to drive on, then more people, I think, will take it to McIntyre Road.
Yeah.
And that's where they want to then go whichever way they want to go. Because, yeah, I lived on the north end of K5 for 27 years, and to your point, the motorcycle traffic on the weekends is unbelievable, and it's not unusual to see 2 or 3 of them wipe out in a weekend. I don't know if you slow that down because they're not driving for the conditions, but there have been a number of particularly bad in the wintertime.
Yeah. I mean, it is a unique, what we see on that stretch of corridor is a very unique pattern with motorcycles that it's hard pressed to say anywhere else in the state you see anything like that.
Yeah.
That, and anytime they close the Blue Bridge for like inspections, you know, you quadruple the traffic on 5 because of people who work in Kansas and Missouri who have to use that Blue Bridge. They figure out they have to use the 435 bridge and Highway 5, so the traffic, you know, quadruples on that road and congestion goes crazy.
And I think we saw as well when Parallel and K7 was under construction, we saw a lot of traffic diverted
Yes.
to 5.
Yep.
So it is a good secondary route, and that's one thing that we look at as well.
Now, if you're going to Missouri, if you're going to the airport or Zona Rosa from here, it's a lot faster to go Highway 5 to 435 than it does to go through Leavenworth through all their stoplights, for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, the safety is just a huge issue. On a personal note, I remember my wife and I looking at a house out there, and one of the reasons we did not decide on that house is that highway. We knew we were going to eventually have kids that were going to drive it, and there's no way. I especially like when you're driving that road and you're going like 40, 45 miles an hour, but it feels like you're going 60 or 65. You know, you look down and you go, I'm only going like 45.
And some people are driving it much faster. We recorded speeds in that area in excess of 90 miles an hour in some locations.
Yeah, that's just crazy.
Well, I appreciate you guys coming down on this cold night.
Yeah.
And we look forward to working with you. And we'll take whatever we can get.
Appreciate all the input. We do want you to be aware of the next steps what's having. So this is the final kind of public officials briefings we've had. We've met with the county, the Port Authority, with the city of Leavenworth, and with Kansas City, Kansas, and the unified government. We're going to be regrouping shortly after this with KDOT staff, kind of reporting back what we've heard from all public officials. Then we'll be moving forward, and we're looking to have some individual stakeholder meetings, like with property owners along the corridor, and then having an open house for the general public to come in, see some different options, and kind of weigh in on some thoughts for that as we develop a kind of locally preferred option of how would we want to move forward. And we'll be back in front of you at that time to kind of address that. So the public will have some opportunities, a couple rounds of opportunities for input, and we'll be back here to share and talk with you as well as we move forward.
What are those timeframes? Because we're redoing our future use maps.
So we're hoping to wrap this entire project up by late spring or to early summer here. We're looking somewhere in January, February, if we can find a facility and a location to have that first public meeting.
And that's just the first phase of the project?
Yes.
And not the full project?
Yeah, we're a lot of decisions left before any shovel is turned on. So.
Think
Okay, and
big.
your
Think
stake-
big.
Okay. Your stakeholders, who are you calling your stakeholders? The people that live in,
Some of the stakeholders, people who live along the corridor, we're also talking to some of the industries and businesses along the corridor, reaching out to economic development, school districts, so a variety of different people with kind of a say in that community that aren't necessarily elected officials, but speak for a lot of the community as well.
okay, and the public, you're going to have the public will be there for the open house?
Yes.
And how do you advertise or get that word out?
So we'll advertise through
Social media.
Yep. KDOT will go out with a lot of the briefings. We'll actually contact all the individual property owners along the corridor as well, just to be sure as well. Would certainly let you all know, because would love for you all, through the different cities and our partners on this, their social media accounts and everything else to publicize that also.
Is that different open houses, or is it just one?
We're thinking one initially here, and honestly, we're hoping to get it in your basement, because that's a great location for these type of
That was the
things.
next question.
Kevin, have you ever driven us on there?
Yes. Yes.
What's that
It's,
like?
it's narrow. I mean, the road's good, but it's narrow. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the other bus drivers that have to drive the big buses daily, yeah, sometimes they have issues out there. So, when you get to that locally preferred alternative step, who makes the decision on what you're going to do after that you're going to bring back to the officials? And
So ultimately, KDOT will take and weigh in the comments they've heard, take a look at those, and be part of that decision-making process. So,
part of it, or who?
or the part of it, I guess you would say.
okay.
Yeah, it's their facility. So, but we're not. I don't think anyone's trying to make any decisions in a vacuum. We do want a lot of input on that to really make an informed decision on how we're going to move forward. Taking a look at community input and the finances and the economics behind it. So.
Okay, and who do you meet with in Wyandotte County and KCK? Unified Government? That's who you were
Yeah,
briefed?
we met with the county commission
County
here a
Commission.
couple weeks ago, and we'll meet with them again too to keep them informed. And we're trying to coordinate with all their staff as well, just so they're aware of the project moving forward.
It's only like 2 miles in their jurisdiction, isn't it?
Yeah, about 2 to 2.5, I think.
Yeah.
But certainly they're around the Walcott interchange. That's
Yeah, right there
some
when you
of
come around that curve, it says Wyandotte County.
Yeah, that's some of the bigger potential changes we could see in there as we straighten that out. The old Walcott community is no longer there. The old township there is actually owned by unified governments. There's opportunities to maybe straighten some things out there. So.
One more question. The straightaway by the speed track, do you plan on changing that at all?
We're looking at that a little, or looking at that
Elevation,
some.
maybe?
Maybe some. We're kind of got to weigh that with the railroad, the impact of the adjacent property owners, and costs there. Certainly, we want to get some shoulders on there.
Because anytime the river gets up, it gets
is,
right in there.
Yeah,
And then just I think it was like 2 years ago, they had that section closed all the way from where the stop sign is on Walcott Drive all the way to the first curve. And you couldn't get through there because of the flood, of course.
That is, you see right there that floodplain in the light blue.
Yeah, right here.
Yep. So.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the one thing I wanted to stress, like I did in the Port Authority, we've done some rezoning since this was initialized. I would encourage your guys to get with our economic developer because we have rezoned some big tracts of land on Highway 7 north and south of McIntyre. And that's going to feed into a lot of the future use, which is going to bring in more traffic.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yep. And we've taken a look and we've got a lot of those notations.
Thank you.
Thank you for that.
So can you go back to the calendar, please?
To
The next steps. So at the end of the next steps, late spring 26, we'll be presenting something to KDOT for phase 1. Am I tracking that? That would go into design, or where are we at? I mean,
Yeah, sure. So KDOT has what they call a Program Review Committee. That's essentially the Secretary and State Transportation Engineer, Executive Leadership staff at KDOT. So what Jeff's talked about, all these alternatives, and we want what the community wants and what's priority. KDOT doesn't want to do a project that's not priority for everyone. So all that input will be taken into consideration in terms of what's presented. Like Jeff mentioned, it all comes down to budget and funding and timing, right? And all that hasn't been identified yet. And so depending on what's priority and how much it costs and that sort of thing, that's when KDOT will start to look at those decisions of what could be done when, and also make that determination. Like I said earlier, this is just the study phase, so if they'll move forward into preliminary design phase as well. And so just to clarify, even if it moves forward into preliminary design, there's still, not funding directly allocated for construction, so that's usually a few years down the road from when preliminary design starts. So a little bit of a elongated time frame, but hopefully that helps clarify.
yeah, thanks. Anybody else have any questions for Jeff?
Thank you all.
All right,
Thank you.
appreciate it.
Thank you, Jeff.
Thank you.
Come up and ask your question, Jeanette.
Maybe I should have waited till draft local preference alternatives. But I I'm here today, so I'll ask now. Seeing as this is a Leavenworth and Wyandotte County initiative, has anyone considered Markson Road intersection, literally going over the fields there to connect down to K5? I mean, it's not a straight run. None of this is a straight run. There's rock face and everything everywhere on that side of the road. But I'm kind of wondering if that, using K7 down to the intersection on Markson Road and then going across, which is partly, as far as I know, it's still gravel in a lot of places, Markson Road. But I'm just thinking, you know, $36 million, maybe just a new intersection or connector of some kind. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Jeanette. Hey,
Marshall Road's in Wyandotte County, isn't it?
Yep.
yeah. All right, appreciate it. Thank you. You're welcome to stay for the rest of the council meeting, but if not,
Run.
Okay, item number 3 is the Historical Society discussion. The Lansing Historical Society and Museum recently wrapped up their final weekend of tours. Throughout 2025, they estimate 3,500 people have taken part in the tours of the old Lansing Correctional Facility. People taking the tours will occasionally stay at hotels in our region, as well as eat at our restaurants and shop at our businesses. The Lansing Historical Society is requesting $25,000 for billboard advertising throughout the region. Representatives from the Historical Society are present to update the council, and that would be Tom Young. Tom.
Hi. I guess where I would want to start is last year when we got the $25,000, we used that for billboard advertisement, and it's actually $24,000 and some change for 4 billboards for 4 months. And it's amazing how many people came to our tours that noticed the billboards, because, you know, we've got thousands of people that drive back and forth. I don't know if any of you have seen them,
Yep.
but they were out there for a long time. We actually were able to do it twice. We had some other money that we used to do it for basically 4 months. Let's see. Yeah, it was, what was it? Anyhow, lost my train of thought. But it's amazing how many people saw that and decided to come to the tours, because, like, for example, we had a couple from Denver that just happened to see the sign and checked their GPS and noticed that, hey, we're a half hour from Lansing, so they decided to turn around. They were on their way to Nashville and came in, and that's just a small percentage of how many people. We've had people from all over the country, people from Europe, Australia,
Wow.
that read about it, through our LansingKansasHistory.com and decided to come here and check it out. And, we're using, what we're asking for is the guest and visitor tax, which is for tourism. And it's an ideal situation because, a lot of cities have, bed and breakfasts, Airbnbs, wineries. Not too many people have a prison. And this is an opportunity for people to come and spend 2 hours and learn history from, when Abraham Lincoln was president. That's when it got its start. So we kind of have the corner, for prisons. Not too many people can say that. So I think we've got a great opportunity here. We've got people that want to come, and the people that have come on the tours, they've liked it so much they've come back with other family members. And in turn, you're bringing people into our community that otherwise wouldn't be there. And they're using, our restaurants. They're buying gas here. If they're from a great distance. We've had people from western Kansas that had to stay in hotels. So it's an opportunity that I think all of us can look at. And I'm a firm believer in signs, even though I'm retired. And, when you look at it, the $25,000 that we're asking for, it's not necessarily an expense, and it's an investment in our community. Because when people see that, it puts Lansing at the top of their mind, and they think, well, we don't have anything to do this weekend. Let's go to Lansing, and it's kind of started to the analogy of, you know, when you start out with a snowball at the top of a mountain, you get it rolling, you know, it picks up momentum, gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And we've had a great start. And I think, you know, if we can keep doing this and keep putting money into advertising and whatnot, I think it's only going to get bigger. And this is something that could be here for hundreds of years. I mean, your great-grandkids could be conducting tours at this place. So I don't think that building's going anywhere. It's 160 years old, and it's you know, pretty much tornado-proof, I would think. But I would just have to say that in general, you know, this would be good money invested that's going to keep people coming back to Lansing. Do you have any questions?
I do.
Okay.
So, Tom, when people come, do you do a survey that says, how did you hear about us?
Yeah, they actually, we say, you know, where are you from? How'd you hear about us?
And you note that?
And, yeah, we've got
Okay,
it. Actually,
great.
when they sign up on the registration, they can actually fill out different things, and it gives us some information
Oh,
on
good. So you
where
got
they're
hard
from.
data.
Yeah.
You have to fill out a waiver, don't you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
everybody has a waiver,
Yeah.
and that's how we're able to keep track of how many people we had.
What do you charge on the tour?
It's $30.
Okay, $30
It's a
times
2-hour tour.
3,500, that's $105,000 that you pulled
Right.
in. Why do you need 25,000 from us?
Well, now we have a salary, so we're paying all of our tour guides. Our salaries last year were $25,000. We're responsible for upkeep of the prison, different things that are going to fall to us, such as painting, cleaning, different things like that. We also have to keep up the depot, which is where the tour starts. And we're repainting the depot. I think that's $12,000. And all these other expenses. But what we're trying to do is get, you know, some capital improvement money put away. And then down the road, we're going to be able to improve, you know, by expanding, whether we have additional tour guides, additional tours, you know, more ways to bring people in. And, you know, if something goes bad in the building, you know, it's going to take a lot of money to fix, so we can't, you know, make sure we run out of money.
Yeah, but the city's having to defer stuff as well because we can't keep putting burdens on our taxpayers.
Income,
But it's actually coming from the
Yeah.
guest and visitors tax.
come from the transient
So
guests.
it's people that are
Yes.
coming anyhow.
When are the tours from when to when?
Right now, we're starting back up in April and going to November. Mainly because we don't have any heat or cooling in the building, so it gets pretty uncomfortable when it's, you know, in the middle of winter.
Have you guys
So far, we've been able to deal with the heat.
have you guys applied for any grants with the state?
Not that I'm aware of.
Done any fundraising?
Basically, what we're doing right now is, you know, bringing in money. So,
Car show was a fundraiser, wasn't it?
car show, yeah. Yeah, we had people coming from all over Kansas showing their cars. But, anyhow, it's up to you guys to decide what you want to do. I think it's an opportunity that no other city in our area has, and it's, as far as I can see, we don't have too many other things that are bringing in tourism, you know, unless you're visiting a relative in one of the institutions.
Yep, I'd agree with that.
So,
Yeah, fireworks brings in quite a few people. Just saying. I like 4th of July, so.
Yeah. Well, that's it.
No.
We've got other things we know bring in
I
thousands
believe
of
he
people,
said
and I don't
not
wanna-
too many.
Do what?
Oh,
We don't have too many things bringing
True.
in this
No.
town.
no, that's true. Yeah, I mean, we've discussed this, I think, when we gave you the seed money, I think, last year, on figuring out a percentage of the transient guest tax or the guest use tax.
Well, we don't have to have an answer tonight. We can
No,
discuss
but
that.
we'll do that. And it'll likely be a percentage.
well, anything we can get is
Yeah.
is good.
But I mean, I think it would be good to have something that you can, like a consistent thing. So we do a certain percentage every year of what we get out of the transient guest tax would be a good constant stream of funding for you guys.
Yeah, we'd like to,
Although
you
it
know, each
changes
year
every
we're going
year.
to try to improve the tours. There's different parts of the prison that right now we don't have access to, like B-Cell House was built in like 1887, and it's not, up to code to take
Right.
people in.
Right.
So there's a lot of things that we need to go in and spend money on to try to get it cleaned up to where it's safe for our visitors to go in and out of. So.
Did you rebuild the gallows like you'd planned?
Mm-hmm.
Yep, they're up.
They're up.
They're on the tour. The state would not give the original ones back, so we spent like 25 years trying to talk to the state and see if they would give us the originals, and it took us 2 days to build a new one. So we should have done that to begin with.
They won't give back the original Hickok and Smith grave markers either. They're up there. They won't give back your original Hickok and Smith grave markers.
Yeah, they're in the State Museum as well. Any other questions?
You still do the Halloween tours, or?
We're doing the ghost tours or
Yeah.
paranormal.
Right.
Yeah, we've teamed up with Apex Paranormal, and we've had several hundred people over a single weekend come in on those tours. So
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
people are really into the paranormal. Whether you believe in it or not, I don't know.
I think Teresa believes in it.
I think she does too. I've had the hairs on the back of my neck stand up a few times. You're going into a building at 1 a.m. and there's nobody else in there. This is kind of weird.
Yeah.
But it's fun. It's whatever you're into. Any other questions?
Anybody else?
Nope.
Okay, thanks, John.
Thanks.
Thank you, Tom.
Thank you.
Thanks very much.
Appreciate the update. Okay, new business, Parks and Recreation Advisory Board appointments. There are 6 positions on the Park and Rec Advisory Board with terms that will expire on 31 December 2025. Lansing Parks and Rec Board met on 13 November to review applications and recommends the appointment of Casey Worrell, Jeff Conklin, and Andrew Allen to the Lansing Park and Recreation Board for terms ending 31 December 2027.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Call roll.
Mr. Robinson?
Yes.
Mr. Clemens?
Yes.
Mr. Brungard?
Yes.
Mr. Stednica?
Yes.
Mr. Gardner?
Yes.
Mr. Kirby?
Yes.
Mr. Kowalski?
Yes.
Mr. Garvey?
Yes.
Motion passed. Tree Board appointments. There are 3 positions on Lansing Tree Board with terms that will expire on 31 December 2025. Tree Board met on 13 November, reviewed the applications, and recommends the appointments of Cassandra Collins, Kevin Gardner to the Lansing Tree Board for terms ending 31 December 2028.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to appoint Cassandra Collins and Kevin Gardner to the Lansing Tree Board for terms ending December 31, 2028. Call roll.
Mr. Robinson?
Yes.
Mr. Clemens?
Yes.
Mr. Brungard?
Yes.
Mr. Stednica?
Yes.
Mr. Gardner?
Yes.
Mr. Kirby?
Yes.
Mr. Kowalski?
Yes.
Mr. Garvey?
Yes.
Motion passed. Item number 6 is after-hour use of Activity Center. Shane Thomas with Lansing Scouting America Troop 165 has requested the use of Lansing Activity Center for after hours from 4 p.m. on December 12th until 9 a.m. on December 13th for the anti-campout. Representatives from the troop are available to answer any questions. So I need a motion to approve or deny the request for Lansing Scouting America Troop 165 to use the Lansing Activity Center for the anti-campout event as requested.
So moved.
Second.
I make a motion to approve.
There you go.
Okay?
Motion to approve, yes.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the request. So call the roll.
Mr. Robinson?
Yes.
Mr. Clemens?
Yes.
Mr. Brungard?
Yes.
Mr. Stednica?
Yes.
Mr. Gardner?
Yes.
Mr. Kirby?
Yes.
Mr. Kowalski?
Yes.
Mr. Garvey?
Yes.
Motion passed. All right, item number 7 is audit service contract extension. Engagement letter would extend the contract for audit services with Adams Brown for an additional 3 years. Staff feels it is in the best interest of the city to remain with Adams Brown due to their performance over the past 3 years and their knowledge of current and upcoming capital projects. The cost for 2025, 2026, and 2027 audits are $19,400, $19,900, and $20,490 respectively, with an additional $5,000 fee should a single audit be required. The 2026 budget expense line for auditing services is $24,000. So So I need a motion to approve the engagement of Adams Brown to perform audits for the 3 years ending December 31st, 2025 through December 31, 2027.
So move.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion on this?
Is this the company out of Hayes?
Yes, I think the people
God's
we work
country.
with, there's also an Overland Park branch, I think.
Yeah,
Is that right?
they have an office in Overland Park. They've been easy to work with. They're really good. Respond quickly if I have questions. So we just had a really busy year this year, and I thought, let's go ahead and extend them 3 years, and then next time we're gonna probably go out and bid it again. So
They're very familiar with what's been going on,
yes, they're familiar with
the whole
our
fire department
software,
thing.
Yeah,
Yep.
fire department, so they're aware of all the changes that have gone.
Beth, is it an option each year, or is it contract for 3 years?
It's
Is it a base for 25 and then 26 and 27 as options, or no?
It's a 3 year. I mean, we could at the end of this year notify them and say, hey, we're not going to extend the remaining years and go out, choose to go out.
Without penalty?
Mhm.
Okay. Okay. That's all I had.
The only thing I'd like to mention is I thought the representative did a great job of advising the board. It seemed like you guys worked well together, so yeah, I thought it was excellent.
Yeah.
Yeah, the next 3 years should be like the last 3.
Let's hope.
Yeah.
Okay. We got a motion and a second.
Thanks,
Oh.
Beth.
Thanks, Beth. Call the roll.
Mr. Robinson?
Yes.
Mr. Clemens?
Yes.
Mr. Brungard?
Yes.
Mr. Stednica?
Yes.
Mr. Gardner?
Yes.
Mr. Kirby?
Yes.
Mr. Kowalski?
Yes.
Mr. Garvey?
Yes.
Motion passed. Item number 8 is resolution number B10, 2025. A resolution enrolling all current and future firefighters of the city of Lansing, Kansas in the Kansas Police and Firemen's Retirement System. When the city established the Lansing Fire Department, staff was notified by KPERS that the city's coverage for employees in the KPNF pension system was affiliated with police only. Staff requested guidance from KPERS personnel to add firefighters to KPNF and provided the requested information. City staff continued to withhold and report all firefighters' contributions to KPNF per the guidance given. Staff received instruction from KPERS on 26 November 2025 on steps needed to be taken to formally include firefighters in the KPNF pension system. And resolution number B10, 2025, and Form KPNF 522 will be submitted to KPERS. So I need a motion to adopt Resolution B10, 2025 as presented.
So moved.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion on this one?
I don't have anything to say, but I did have quite a few questions, and Tim took care of that. He answered those, and from his answers, you guys went through a little difficult time to get through that with the new procedures and that.
Yeah, I think it was just more, we adopted KPNF, 20 years ago? We weren't aware I wasn't aware it was police only. KPNF is police and fire. So when we first set them up, I was in touch with them, and they were like, oh, you're police only, but go ahead and keep reporting. So it affected employees in no way. I mean, everything still went through KPNF. They were just trying to figure out how to handle it. I had to give them the history on all the district and the city and what happened with the department, and it took them 11 months.
It was
to
a
get back
unique.
to us.
It was
So
a unique situation.
Yes.
It was unique, yeah, and they wanted to make sure they were doing it properly. So this is just kind of the formality to make it.
Are there?
Right.
All right. Thank you for all your work on that, and thank you for getting back to me on the answers on that. So.
Are all the firemen on board with this change?
Yep.
And
It's not a change for them. They were on KPNF with the district, and they came into the city and went right on to KPNF.
So this just
it did
expands
not
our
affect
coverage.
employees at all. This
Yeah.
is
Okay.
just the formality of it. So.
So their old retirement that they were in before, will that roll over to this one, or will?
Yeah, so when you are in KPERS or KPNF, if someone leaves the city, we put a termination date in there, and then the next agency then puts a new date in there for them to start. So that's what we did, and so they're now on our system, but their balance stays with them.
Okay.
It doesn't
Perfect.
stay
Thank
with
you.
the entity.
I work with an ex-firefighter, and he says that KPNF fund is a good deal. So, especially the longer you stay there, the better it is. So,
Anybody else have anything? Chief, you're good with it? Yeah, Chief's good with it, so we're good with it. Okay, we have a motion and a second. Call a roll.
A little late if he isn't.
Mr. Robinson?
Yes.
Mr. Clemens?
Yes.
Mr. Brungard?
Yes.
Mr. Stednica?
Yes.
Mr. Gardner?
Yes.
Mr. Kirby?
Yes.
Mr. Kowalski?
Yes.
Mr. Garvey?
Yes.
Motion passed. Item number 9 is request for approval of cereal malt beverage license renewals. The following businesses have applied for renewal of their cereal malt beverage licenses: Aldi Inc., Lansing Quick Stop, Quick Trip 188, Srinivas Incorporated doing business as Finish Line, and Truman Town LLC doing business as Woody's Gas Express. City Clerk, Police Chief, and City Inspector of the Community and Economic Development Departments have reviewed and approved the application. The license fee and Kansas state stamp have been paid. So I need a motion to approve the cereal malt beverage license renewals for Aldi Inc. at 1217 North Main Street, Lansing Quick Stop at 601 South Main Street, Quick Trip 188 at 1205 North Main Street, Srinivas Inc. doing business as Finish Line 506 North Main Street, and Truman Town LLC doing business as Woody's Gas Express at 109 4H Road.
So move.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Call the roll.
Mr. Robinson?
Yes.
Mr. Clemens?
Yes.
Mr. Brungard?
Yes.
Mr. Stednica?
Yes.
Mr. Gardner?
Yes.
Mr. Kirby?
Yes.
Mr. Kowalski?
Yes.
Mr. Garvey?
Yes.
Motion passed. Executive session, personnel matters of non-elected personnel. I need a motion to enter an executive session for discussion of personnel matters of non-elected personnel pursuant to the non-elected personnel matters exception, KSA 7543 19B1 for 10 minutes, beginning at 7:47 and ending at 7:57.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Call a roll.
Mr. Robinson?
Yes.
Mr. Clemens?
Yes.
Mr. Brungard?
Yes.
Mr. Stednica?
Yes.
Mr. Gardner?
Yes.
Mr. Kirby?
Yes.
Mr. Kowalski?
Yes.
Mr. Garvey?
Yes.
Motion passed.
Okay. Got no customers left?
I make a motion to return to open session.
Second.
Go home and watch
I have a
TV.
motion and a second to return to open session at 7:47, and no binding action was taken.
That's nice.
Call a roll.
Mr. Robinson?
Yes.
Mr. Clemens?
Yes.
Mr. Brungard?
Yes.
Mr. Stednica?
Yes.
Mr. Gardner?
Yes.
Mr. Kirby?
Yes.
Mr. Kowalski?
Yes.
Mr. Garvey?
Yes.
Motion passed. Correction, that was 7:57.
Yes.
And we're back in open session and reports. Any department heads? No? City Attorney?
Nothing to report, Mayor.
City Administrator, Tim?
So we've talked about industrial revenue bonds a little bit for the Fairlane Townhomes project. We've invited our bond counsel, Gilmore and Bell, to attend our next meeting to kind of talk to you guys about that on December 18th. And then we could also potentially schedule the public hearing for that same meeting. So right after they give you guys a briefing about what all of that entails, you guys can decide whether or not you think that's a good idea for that project. So we're looking at scheduling that for December 18th. So yeah, that would be on the agenda for that if you guys are okay with that. And again, that's for 14 townhome units right behind the existing ones. So, and then also we are looking at doing a reception for Councilman Studnicka and Councilman Clemens prior to the next city council meeting at 6 p.m. So we would love people to attend that. We'd love people's family and friends to attend that. So please make an attempt to be here 1 hour early before the next city council
It'd be the same one, right? 18th? 18th?
18th,
Yeah.
yep.
Okay.
Yep. And that's all I have.
Okay. Thank you, Tim. We'll go around the horn. Pete?
Nothing.
Nothing. Dan?
Nothing.
Gary?
I have nothing, Mayor.
All right. Don?
Nothing, Mayor.
Okay. Kevin?
Yes, the Christmas tree program I thought went real well the other day. It was nice to see the youth of Lansing out there performing with the Boy Scouts leading everything with the Pledge of Allegiance, and then the whoever did the directing and choreography for the Katie's Dance Studio was hats off to them. Starting off with the tap dancing and then ballet before they actually got into the dance part of it, dance routine. That was nice to see. And then the high school choir, Mr. White has that program running at a high level there, and every year those kids sound just excellent, whether it's individually or collectively. So, and they achieve a lot too. So, it was a nice night.
All right. Thanks, Kevin. Gene?
Nothing.
Jake?
Yeah, to kind of second what Kevin said, I attended it as well, and it was a good performance. I also want to say thanks to the volunteers for the tree board, park and rec board, and that's it.
All right. Before I get to Jesse, I'd just like to thank everybody who participated in that Christmas tree program. I thought it was really good this year. Kudos to the fire department and the video and Santa and everybody who had a play in that, and all the staff that participated and helped out. Appreciate it. So I really liked it. Jesse?
I make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
To have a motion and a second to adjourn. Call a roll.
Mr. Robinson?
Yes.
Mr. Clemens?
Yes.
Mr. Brungard?
Yes.
Mr. Stednica?
Yes.
Mr. Gardner?
Yes.
Mr. Kirby?
Yes.
Mr. Kowalski?
Yes.
Mr. Garvey?
Yes.
Okay, we are adjourned.
Can't know my
Thank
own
you.
motion.